Hi there, welcome back to my channel. We arrived at the fourth movie from the Danish series Department Q, The Purity of Vengeance, which is the international title, or Journal 64. So, let's begin. In an old apartment in Copenhagen, workers make a horrifying discovery. Behind a false wall, 3 mummified bodies are found seated around a table with one seat left empty. This is how the purity of vengeance begins. Detective Carl Mørck and Assad are called to investigate who these victims are and who was meant to occupy the vacant seat. The investigation leads them to an institution from the past located on the island of Sproj, a place where morally deviant women, as society saw them at that time, were sent for re-education or confinement. The institution was rife with neglect and abuse, including forced sterilization. Yes, young and healthy women were sterilized against their will. The film alternates between present-day sequences and flashbacks showing the suffering of the women from that time, how they were subjected to moral restriction and institutional manipulation. As Carl and Assad delve deeper into the case, they uncover connections between the disappearances of the past and modern-day ideologies about social purity and control. Influential figures are involved, and the old institution seems to have lasting ties to the present. In parallel, there's a storyline involving the disappearance of a young woman in 1987, which appears linked to the old Sproj abuses. As the investigation progresses, everything grows darker. Hidden truths, ideological motives, and undesirable individuals whom the system quietly condemns. In the end, past and present collide, and it's revealed who the missing person was meant to be and who ultimately pays the price. The central idea is that this cold case revives historical trauma, systematic abuse, and shows how decisions of the past still haunt the present. The film critiques the power institutions hold over individuals, especially the marginalized. The ideology of purity becomes a justification for abusive treatment. The women who endured Sproj carry their trauma in silence, but their past refuses to fade. Denmark's collective history, its treatment of marginalized women, it's examined through the lens of fiction. How far can one go to achieve justice when the law is inert or complicit? The empty seat at the victim table symbolizes the missing voice, the one who was excluded, erased. The case resurfaces decades later, proving that institutional crimes and abuses are not forgotten history, but echoes shaping the present. In my opinion, The Purity of Vengeance deserves appreciation not only as a crime thriller, but as a social drama tackling heavy themes. I like that it doesn't shy away from difficult subjects like sterilization, institutional control, abuse of women, and ties past and present in a thought-provoking way. What makes it stand out within the series is its tonal shift. It's not just a classic crime mystery, but a story with historical scars and nuances guilt. The characters remain complex and human, never reduced to cliches, and the relationships between Carl, Assad, and Rose continue to evolve. For me, the main challenge is balance. At times, the film could explore the victim's pain more deeply or develop the motivation of the antagonists further. A few melodramatic or revelatory moments feel slightly overdone, but they don't ruin the experience. Personally, I think it's one of the strongest Department Q adaptations thematically. Maybe not perfect, but ambitious enough to rise above most genre film. If we think of the title, Purity of Vengeance, actually what's called purity is actually a mask for fear. And the others believe that they can clean society by removing those who are different. Both the book and the film dismantle this ideology, showing how reason and science turn monstrous without empathy. Neat becomes the collective symbol of the silenced women. Her forced change of identity is a metaphor for the eraser of memory. The film visuals this through silence, glances, and static shots, while the book delivers into it through pain introspection. Carl Mørck serves as our moral mirror, cynical yet guilty of inaction. Assad, in contrast, retains faith in goodness. Together they represent the battle between despair and hope. In the book, Carl grows more empathic. In the film, more jaded. But the ending hits at his inner awakening. This is the recurring theme throughout the Department Q films, but here it's at its most powerful. State, crimes, abuses, and sterilization are not mere history. They are political ghosts. Journal 64 is the perfect title. Both document, testimony, and indictment. If A Conspiracy of Faith is the film about belief, then The Purity of Vengeance is the film about guilt, about what happens when a society hides behind morality to justify cruelty. It's, I believe, the most mature film in the series. Not the most entertaining, but definitely the most profound. It leaves a pit in your stomach, not because of its violence, but because it makes you wonder how many horrors today are still hidden under words like order, ethics, or safety. I find it remarkable how the director manages to film silence itself. Long, almost static shots, gray-green lighting, symbolism in water and walls. It all feels like a prayer for the nameless dead. So, we could say that the first one, The Keeper of Lost Causes, was a solid debut. The second one, The Absent One, was tense and social. The third one, A Conspiracy of Faith, was spiritual. And then The Purity of Vengeance is catharsis. It closes the Department Q circle as a requiem for history's forgotten victims. So please tell me in the comments, what did you think of this film? Which one of the 4 films impressed you the most and why?